Hey guys, how you doing? This is Benjamin with Benjamin's Exotics, and in this video today, we're going to be looking at something that is very rarely, if at all, talked about with any other type of animal that I know of in the reptile community besides stuff like ball pythons, corn snakes, ball pythons especially, and that is force feeding. So we'll look at a few things in this video. Number one, we're going to look at leopard geckos are going to be what we're going to be using today, and talking specifically about leopard geckos, no other species of gecko. We're going to talk about when you should force feed, what are signs you should force feed, when you should not be force feeding a gecko, and what the actual goal behind force feeding is. Now, first of all, should you force feed a gecko? This is a question that barely ever gets asked as well, that I've seen on YouTube at least. And it's just like with snakes, okay? If the gecko is literally starving itself out, if it's a baby gecko and it hasn't eaten in if it's a baby gecko and you just got it and it hasn't eaten in anywhere over 2 weeks, you're going to want to look at force feeding. Now, we call this force feeding. You cannot actually really force feed a gecko. They're too small and too fragile. So we're going to be looking at basically assist feeding in leopard geckos. Oh, her head just perked up. You don't like assist feeding, do you? It's not a good thing. And all that basically is I'll explain it before I won't try to do it because I only have one hand to use, but it's basically we're going to put a piece of food in their mouth, a mealworm in, what I used to use when I first got her. And the goal is to get the gecko to start recognizing that it needs to eat, get that taste and drive for food again, so it will feed on its own. Now, this very rarely ever happens with adult leopard geckos, and this is more something that you're going to it's more something you're going to have to ever need to do only with babies, because babies are babies. They don't always, have the sense for food. They haven't done it a lot. They haven't, quote unquote, practiced eating, I guess. But with adults, it basically is never a problem. Usually, this girl's a little bit different. When I first got her, she wouldn't eat for like a month, almost like months past when I got her, for like a month and a half or something, and she was getting really skinny. Her tail had lost a lot of weight, she had lost a lot of weight, and I figured it was time to assist feed her, and assist fed her for about a week, and she went straight back on food. So that's great. Not assist feeding, the fact that she went back on food. So it's very simple with leopard geckos, much easier than with a snake, because I don't want anybody ever to, hurt their animal while trying to do this. But you really need to ask yourself before you do anything like this. You're not just doing this because you want to see your gecko eat. Okay, that's not why you do this. You can get problems with that. You're doing this because the gecko literally will starve to death if it does not get some sort of nutrition or food in their digestive system. In my opinion, I've seen the reptile slurries, the stuff where they take the all the nutrients the animal needs and they put it in a slurry form, and that can work. It's okay, I guess, and it works better probably with geckos and snakes, but personally, in my own opinion, it's hard, because if it's a baby leopard gecko, the slurry is going to offer lots of nutrition and can give it a good boost to start eating. But if the slurry doesn't work, don't keep trying the slurry. Start with real food so its digestive system can start working to digest real crickets, mealworms, bugs, things like that. So you can use a slurry formula if you want, but I would only use it for a first few times. After that, I'd cut it out, because you want the gecko to be eating as natural as possible. And to get it to eat, I just don't think the slurry is effective in getting it to eat. I think it's effective in more effective probably than actual bugs in getting all the nutrients to the gecko, but overall I just don't think it's as effective. So with leopard geckos, it's actually very simple. I can't really show you on camera, but all you're gonna do is, because I unfortunately I don't have a camera person that's recording me. I'm using my own hand, but you're going to firmly hold the gecko like this, not applying any pressure, just making sure that they're not going to try to jump out of your hand. And all we're going to do is just take our finger and just slightly rub it against the gecko's jaw. Now, I'm not going to do this for too long because I doubt she'll actually participate and do it, because I'm not doing it very accurately, but you're just going to take your finger and start rubbing their jawline. Not hard, not barely applying any pressure, but just enough to sort of annoy them, I guess. And after you do it a few times, they'll open their mouth. Now, you don't stick your finger in there, obviously, because it won't hurt, basically, but they will grab your finger if you do that because they don't like it. So all you're going to do is just take your thumb, or preferably pointer finger, and just rub it along the gecko's jawline, not applying any pressure at all. And after you do it long enough, if we can actually get, maybe we'll see if we can get her. Oh, almost. Almost. Oh, no, that didn't work. Come on, girl, a little bit more. A little bit more. Come on. You know you don't want to do it. They'll get to a certain point where they'll just keep their mouth open and they won't, right about there. Okay, and you can keep doing it and she'll get to a point where she'll open her mouth and keep it open. And all you're going to do is take the mealworm or food item, or if it's a slurry, slushy, just place it in their mouth. And I wouldn't do it at the front because they'll probably spit it out then, from what I've seen. You're going to want to go to the back of the jaw right here and put the food in there, and they'll bite down on it, and normally once they taste those juices, they'll just get the natural instinct to just swallow it. They figure, you know what, spitting it out isn't worth it, and if it tastes good, I've never been a leopard gecko, so I don't personally know if mealworms taste good, but it seems once that mealworm, gets all the juices flowing in their mouth, it sounds kind of nasty, but once that happens, they will normally eat. Same thing with the slurry or slushy, whatever you want to call it. And that's basically it. Again, when you're looking at assist feeding, this isn't really force feeding. Force feeding would be taking the mealworm, shoving it into the gecko's throat, right here, their throat, and then trying to get it. No, don't ever try to do that. That's a very bad idea. That's a great way to kill your gecko. So never do that. But you simply place the food in the gecko's mouth, and you want it to start associating that food item, or that smell, whatever, with eating. And then eventually the goal is to get the gecko to eat on its own. You can put the food in the enclosure, or take a tongue and wiggle it around like I've shown you with this girl before, and you want them to be able to eat it on their own. The goal is not to, if your friends are coming over and you say, hey guys, I want to show you my leopard gecko eat, but she won't eat, and you want to try to assist feed it into her mouth, no. Don't ever do that. That's a bad idea. It adds extra stress to the animal, and you never, ever try to force feed a leopard gecko, meaning you try to take the food and shove it into their throat. It goes into the front of their mouth, so they bite down and then they swallow it. You never try to do it like that, because mealworms' tails are sharp. You could pierce their jugular, and that'll of course kill them. It's just, don't ever do anything like that, right? This is more of a serious video than most videos, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you've been having any problems with your leopard gecko and you're thinking about assist feeding, please leave it down in the comments. I'll try to respond to you as quickly as possible, normally within 24 hours. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video if this was helpful to you guys. But as I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed this video very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See if we can get one last shot of her. She's actually very pretty. She's a rescue, but thank gosh we don't have to ever, assist feed you anymore, little girl. And we'll see you guys later.